Welcome to Trial, Traumas, and Triumphs, where we delve into the raw, real stories of individuals who have faced life's darkest trials only to emerge triumphant. Today, we're joined by Jomar, a man who happens to be my husband, whose journey has been marked by profound challenges and transformative change. From engaging in criminal behavior to finding redemption as a new father and a new husband, his path has been fraught with obstacles. However, as he awaits sentencing and prepares to enter federal prison, he shares with us how he's navigated those hardships and found hope in the face of these adversities. Hey, Jomar, how are you?
All right.
So, can we start off? Can you share your story that leading up to this point?
I got accused of selling drugs. I got caught with drugs and weapons by the FBI. So now I'm facing a case, which I have to go do time, 57 months in the federal penitentiary on. That's my story. Getting arrested and being told I was looking at 30 years for the type of weapon I had. They wanted to take my life. I wouldn't survive in the federal penitentiary for 30 years being at my age of 45. So I've been walking a straight, narrow path so I can come home to my kids and wife, family.
How did becoming a father and a husband influence your decision to change?
You have something to live for more than yourself. Being a husband and a father is the greatest joys a man can go through.
Can you describe the emotions and the thoughts that you're experiencing as you wait a sentencing?
Anxiety, depression, trying to stay strong, worry about your family while you're in there because you can't really do anything for them. There's a lot of fears that go along with that, not being able to protect your household, not too worried about doing the time. It's just my kids and my wife doing the time. I mean, I'm a man. I did a crime. I must do the time. So it is what it is.
What lessons have you learned so far throughout your journey?
Fast money ain't always worth it. Slow and easy wins the race. I found out what was most important to me, my family.
You had just had a brand new baby when you got arrested by the feds, right?
Yes. Saddest part is I won't be here for the next 5 years of his life, so which are most important. Thank God I was able to stay out to be here for the first 2 years. It's a big fear of mine, making sure he's safe and the rest of the kids.
I know that they have a lot of like programming in the federal prison that can lower that sentence. So, of course, we are looking into all of those options to reduce your sentence as much as possible. What steps do you plan on continuing to better yourself while you go to prison?
With education, trying to get my GED while I'm in there, trying to stay healthy, work out, just feed my brain, come home with the game plan on what I'm going to do with the rest of my life.
And have you been working on your education since you've caught in your case? You got your CDL, right?
Yes, I got my CDL. Haven't really got a chance to use it with this case over my head, but
You still need to be proud of yourself. That's a huge accomplishment, obtaining your CDL.
yeah, I would have been able to do a whole lot more. I plan on coming home, maybe starting my own trucking business, doing what I can as a father.
Being somebody who always takes care of everybody else, how did your role change after you got in trouble?
It was more hard for my family, my nieces and nephews. I couldn't be there for them when they get in trouble financially like I used to, not being, I had to do self care and not worry about everybody else. And, it's hard when you can't get in trouble, but you're so used to getting in trouble or willing to get in trouble for your family. It's it's heartbreaking not being able to fight for others when you're so used to it.
Having to focus on yourself sometimes is hard, but it's definitely critical. As you reflect on your journey, are there moments or decisions that you regret the most? And how have you come to terms with those regrets?
I regret getting in trouble, getting off the path as a young man. I think these days when you're in trouble, you're full of nothing but regrets. Me as a man, I'm learning from them, focusing on being a better man.
In what ways have you had to redefine your identity from being someone involved in criminal activities to now just being a family man and preparing for prison? And how has that transition impacted you personally?
It gave me depression. I'm used to running and gunning, and now I'm transitioning into very quiet, non-eventful life. Instead of living for everybody else, I'm just living for my kids. Just trying to stay in there.
How do you manage the emotions and the anxiety about the future, both for you and me and the kids and your family as you prepare to enter prison?
It's the burden of being a man. I gotta stay the course and stay focused because even though I'm going to prison, I still lead this family. So I know my kids are watching me and they can learn from my mistakes. Just growing as a family from the whole situation.
How do you envision your relationship with your kids evolving during your time away? And how do you plan on staying connected with the kids?
Phone calls, visits. It's about the only options I truly have. But I also, when you're in there, you kind of gotta stay focused on staying safe in there. So that will be my biggest concern is making sure I make it home. It isn't like I'm going to day camp. I'm going to prison. Some people don't make it home. Me being an older man, I gotta stay focused.
Have there been any sources of strength or inspiration that have helped you through your time?
Yeah, my family, my wife, my kids. I got a brother who just did 29 years and he's gave me a lot of insights. I got another brother who did about 7 years. They give me a lot of knowledge about how to conduct yourself in there. I've had a lot of love and support from sisters and nieces who just had my back on this walking the straight and narrow path because God knows I've never done this before. So this is like a big transformation for a person like me. And this is all new. So I've had to lean on people who do that, which thank God in my family, I do have people who walk the straight and narrow. So I've been able to get advice. It's been a journey, but I'm making it.
Looking back, what would you say to your younger self, knowing what you know about life and resilience?
I don't really have regrets. I think everything happens for a reason. Might have told him don't get caught this time, but maybe I'd have told him quit while you're ahead.
How do you maintain hope and positivity during such difficult circumstances?
Knowing that my kids need me, having such young children, I know it's up to me to teach them how to be a man. Part of being a man is dealing with your consequences. And hopefully I'm having the consequences for all of them and they never have to go down the road I went down. And I get hope from looking in their eyes.
How have your perceptions of success and happiness shifted? And what does success mean to you now?
Back in the day, success meant as much money as possible by all means necessary. Now, success is having happy children, and a bright future for them. That is my success. I want.
What support systems or resources have been most beneficial to you?
My biggest support system is my wife. She's also been down this road before, so she's been helping me navigate, being my biggest supporter. Other than that, I would say that's it.
Can we talk about a little bit like what are your fears for our marriage while you're in prison, or what are your emotions about being going through this on our marriage, and
I mean,
what
it
do you,
is a very long time, so my wife could call it quits at any time.
which I won't.
She could find someone else and be like, I don't want to do this, or the same story that happens to many, many men over and over again. I could get hung out to dry, left in there with no support because I do depend on my wife. So, I don't think she will, but it's always a doubt in your mind not being able to emotionally support her back, her falling apart, not being able to maintain the house because we do have a lot of children, or someone harming her.
But we know that's not going to happen. I've taken a lot of steps throughout the period of time since you've caught in your case to get settled. So we know that's fine. So how have you navigated the stigma associated with having a criminal record and preparing to go to prison?
Well, I've always had a criminal record. Going to prison, it's just something that a man has to do when he gets in trouble. I want to change the stigma of the type of person that comes out of prison. I want to be a success story, not another criminal that just goes in and out, in and out.
So when you get out, what is your plans and goals?
Still working on goals, but to be with my family and my wife and start a family business and move forward on a positive level, taking all that criminal, erasing all that criminal knowledge and replacing it with positive structure, just remapping the way a person thinks. Well, the way I think. Yeah. I've never been on the straight and narrow, so this is all new to me, but I'm going to figure it.
What do you think society misunderstands about individuals who have been through the criminal justice system?
That they're always going to be a criminal, that every person that goes through the criminal system is a bad person. Some people just make bad decisions.
If there was anything that you could tell your children or nieces or nephews that comes from this situation, what would you tell them?
The crime don't pay. Fast money always has a consequence. We should put our head together and do something positive. Learn from my mistakes.
Is there anything else you'd like the listeners to know?
This won't be the last time you hear from a guy like me. I will be back out here doing the positive thing. Can't wait to show you guys in 57 months the new and improved Big Jomar.
I love you. As we conclude today's episode of Traumas, and Triumphs, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to my husband for courageously sharing his deeply personal journey, from facing the consequences of his action to finding redemption as a new father and husband. His story is a testament to resilience and the power of transformation. As Jomar prepares to embark on the next chapter of his life, we are reminded that life's trials can often become the catalyst for our greatest triumphs. His journey teaches us valuable lessons about forgiveness, personal growth, and the unwavering strength found in love and family. To our listeners, thank you for joining us on this inspiring journey. Remember, no matter the challenges we face, there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. Join us next time as we continue to explore stories of resilience and triumph over adversity. As we conclude today's episode of Trials, Traumas, and Triumph, I would like to say I love you all. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, in every struggle there's strength, and in every trial there's triumph. Stay resilient, stay hopeful, and see you next time.